So let's talk a little bit about our current situation involving our state of affairs in this world, the whole world. I'm here. I'm not in other countries. I'm not in other places, but I, gather my information from what I see on news feeds and certain things. Same thing some of you guys are watching. The difference between me and a lot of you folks is that I'm consciously aware of what needs to be done, right? A lot of y'all look at all of the problems of the world and y'all debate them as if there is no clear-cut answer or solution to these problems. First of all, you have to recognize that devils are running your world, right? If I take a narcissist, a piece of shit, and I put him in a king's position, he will regulate and govern over that land like a piece of shit, right? And the results of his actions and deeds will show in the daily lives and you know situations that people go through, wherever it may be. Trying to gather my thoughts because I'm upset. Last time we talked, I told y'all that I have a serious disposition. I have a serious problem with demons. I hate demons. A lot of you glorify demons. I see y'all do your little secret society symbols, and somehow you glorify demons and the devil. You think that your allegiance to the devil is going to guarantee you some kind of promised land situation in the future. The devil is a fucking liar. The devil is a fucking liar, right? And he'll lead you on your road to destruction, and it won't bother him at all because he's a fucking demon. He's a piece of shit, folks, right? So you look at our leadership, you look at how they don't even consider your lives or how you feel or what you're going through. They're clearly involved in looking and seeing, but they don't care. That's the real truth that you folks need to first put focus on. They don't give a fuck about you. I hear a lot of y'all say it, but y'all are not angry enough, right? And then I hear some of you say, well, what can we do about it? But that's now we're getting to the really good part of why I started off with this video, because a lot of you feel like you are powerless because you don't have backing. You don't have the power and authority of the supreme authority, folks. You don't have that assistance, folks. So you're left in a situation. I've heard a lot of these these groups get on and talk about certain things. I've listened to some of the camp videos, and they all recognize and realize that it's going to require a divine hand to deliver us from this situation. You have armies, you have forces, you have now the government shooting and killing regular citizens and shit. I mean, like literally on some just going off the fucking rails, right? And you guys think you're going to sit in some room somewhere and you're going to debate, and that's going to solve the problem of a core piece of shit narcissistic devil. Because see, folks, the demons are living in your leadership. We're not even going to try to. You guys know what I'm saying. You know this. You know about the secret societies. You know about certain things. You see them, and y'all talk about it and gossip about it. But it's not really a problem to y'all. It's just something that you have to deal with. For me, it's a whole different situation. It's like walking into somewhere and there are roaches everywhere, right? And then the Most High hands me a can of Raid. What do you think I'm going to do, folks? I told you, if I know the sun, folks, I am not going to be enslaved another day in this world by fucking devils who I know are powerless against the forces that protect me and that, the force that I serve, the Most High God, right? My team, the heavens, my angels, right? Who am I consult with, right? This is about war at this point, folks. And we're itching at the bit to put hands on demons, right? Any demon, anywhere, any position, right? Because see, what happened was you had a low-life, parasitic piece of shit individual who was so low and hollow in the inside that demons were able to come to them and persuade them and try to tempt them for things, and they took it, right? The best of prophets have always been trying to be, demons have always tried to tempt the best of prophets, and it never worked because we know things, folks. We have access to the real power. I would never betray the Most High. I fear the Most High, folks. I know that He is present in everything I do in my life. In every waking second, He is in control. I know this, right? I know about all of the heavens, folks. I understand what their mission is. I understand that they're here right now with me. You guys don't understand that, right? So you're left to be in a situation where you're going, what's going to happen? What are we going to do? I'm not concerned about none of the politics. I see it and it bothers me because I see it and it's existing, but I have the remedy, the ultimate remedy. The ground you stand on will open up and in your asses. That's how we do this, right? You covered your land. When the land opens up and swallows your ass, you don't have a land and you're nowhere to be found or existing, right? And we can go forward in a new day, right? Get your best, whoever you have, whatever you think. I look at these feeds and these political shows and stuff, and I hear about them talk about how Russia and China and all these different countries and us and, you know, the U.S. and all this stuff and these weapons and, you know, they're going to do this and they're going to do that. They're not going to do a goddamn thing because they're goddamn for first of all, right? They're not going to do anything. I told you that the Most High endorses the true leaders, right? The true kings of this earth, the Most High will raise them up, right? And give them consultation and everyone will be happy and there will be no misery, just like the heavenly worlds. But you have to see a heavenly world in order to know how it functions, in order to know what's right and what's wrong. You're walking around in a pile of shit. The majority of you folks have given into the ways of this world. The demons are controlling the dynamics of your perceived reality right now. They're using fear. They're using all of the tools at their disposal that they have. They're low-level beings, folks. What is fear? Fear is nothing when you're talking about angels in the heavens. Fear is nothing. There is none of this shit exists. They will kill the demons. The weak-ass, punk-ass demons. Yeah, I said it. I'm going to punch the devil in his face. I'm going to beat the living fuck out of the devil. The devil will not exist after me. I'm telling you, folks. I'm telling you. I'm here for that. I'm here to choke Satan out. I'm serious. Now, the funny thing is you guys think this is something impossible that I'm saying, but the devil himself, the demons know who I am, and they're sitting somewhere discussing what they're going to do or trying to figure out some kind of alternative or how to get around this situation. Right? Because their ass is grass and their goose is going to get cooked and I'm coming for them too. Right? So they're trying to figure out how can we get this guy, you know? He's a citizen in this world. He's breathing. A couple of times, you know, I told y'all, you know, I've had situations, dumb, stupid situations. They don't, as if I don't know what's really happening. You know? I used the Matrix movies and old videos, folks. I was trying to get you to understand from that point of view of the character, the main character, right? Neo or somebody, or, you know, that character could see everything for what it really was. The people that he were interacting with in that environment, they were just NPCs, folks. They were just living out a script, right? But every time he encountered an Agent Smith, he knew who Agent Smith was, you know, and other people around him may not have known. They were just characters in that movie. Now, what I tell you about movies, folks, is that when you watch a movie, you're watching to see what happens with the main character, right? Other people in the movie, they don't really necessarily count. You may say that they do, but when you see that giant tidal wave crash through the store and wipe everybody out, right, and the main character finds an escape shaft on the roof or something, you're not concerned with that lady who ran around the corner. You saw her get wiped out. You're not even asking questions after that point in the movie, right? And this is like a movie, folks. This is like a story. It's not a fantasy, but it's playing out just like a movie, folks. Where I know who the demons are and they know who I am. If I went to any of you on the street and I told you that the demons were my opposition and that they were watching me, you would think I was crazy. You would say, you're nobody. You're just some dude there's no big governmental demonic structure watching you, you would say that because it would seem impossible to you. If the demons themselves, the governments of the world, if they got on TV and said there's one guy who knows the sun and knows the stars, and he's probably a threat to us, if they got on TV and told you that, they would look crazy to you because you would say, you're a government, you have all of these missiles and militaries and all of this might, and this is just a little old person. What can they do to you? So it puts us in a situation where this thing is operating behind the scenes, right? When I do videos, when I put up posts, it's really for them, folks, right? When they try to send the census man to me, some stupid shit, right? What is a census for, folks? A census is so they can gather information, so they can fund programs and everything. But see, someone like me, right, one of the chosen in this world, programs aren't available for us. I've lived my whole life, folks. I'm older than many of you. I've seen them lie, cheat, and steal. I've seen them take benefits from my group and give them to everybody else and tell me and fight with me and argue with me and my kind about why we don't deserve something when we know they stole it. It's all in books, right? Even some of their kind will read and see these in books and know. I was looking at something the other day where a feed came up. It was just one of those little quick videos or something. And there was some girl on there and she was talking about, a Black history book or something. And she was talking about how, Columbus and these settlers, the Spaniards, were eating the natives, folks. Were eating them, like cannibalizing and eating them. It was written all in their diaries and journals and stuff. But yet they call you a savage. These same people will classify you as a savage, and they're the lowest of the low, folks. They are spiritually low, right? And there are rankings in this world, folks. And some of these people on this earth are so removed from God and are so low from the Most High that he doesn't recognize them. They're like spit in his mouth, folks. He will spit on them. Now, before you think I'm being harsh, he has actually said this in scripture, but you don't read scripture. You don't have anything in these days to ground you and keep you closer to higher divinity, folks, right? Your higher divinity is a bullshit ass president, right? That's your higher divinity. Some of you swear by this guy. He's a fucking devil. His affiliations are demonic, folks. His actions and ways that he governs is reckless, folks. You look at all this stuff. You see how he's greedy. You see how he has plenty of resources and wealth, and he knows about starving people in his own jurisdiction. However, he does not give a fuck. He will sacrifice you. You know this. Your lives don't mean anything. I'm talking to the world at this point. I'm talking to everyone in the world because on a backdrop, on a deeper hidden level, these governments all are connected to each other, folks. They share weapons. They share politics. They share, a lot of things, right? And if one can hold you guys in slavery, the other ones are going to do the same thing because they're all in this together. You are not allowed to freely travel or do anything unless some fucking air-breathing, shit-wiping person who believes themselves of authority tells you. Now, a person like me walking this earth, when I know the earth, I can summon Mama Earth anywhere I go. I can go to a lake. I can go to a mountain. And Mama Earth will present herself to me, folks. That's how close we are. Why would I let myself be enslaved by a demon hide in that very mountain? How about I just have the mountain implode? How about I just have the higher forces come in and snatch them out and destroy them? How about I do that? Wouldn't you do that, folks? See, that's why I was trying to ask you in a couple of videos back or something. I was asking, how do you feel about the devil? What do you think about the devil? Right? Because, see, the scriptures say in the end times that all of the evil is going to be wiped off this earth. I'm walking in the scriptures, folks. Right? Believe it or not, I'm part of something that you don't understand, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you. Fear not a man. Fear not a man at all, because I know the hands that put breath in their chest. All of them. You punk ass fucking demons. I'm going to break every single one of your fucking faces. And I'm serious. I really am. I'm itching to do it. I cannot wait. Right? But the Most High has to give me my instructions and tell me when I'm supposed to do this or do that, because I listen and I obey. My authority. Not you. Not you. When I see you letting people starve and you take all of the call for money and you blow it on missiles and wars for conquest because you want to take over something else, right? The heavens are watching you. What would you do if the heavens allowed you to come in the heavens? What would you do? You would do demonic shit. You would operate just like the demons you are, right? You would poison things. Whole fucking earth, whole land is poisoned by your radiation, your fallout, your missiles. Every time you test a missile at a base, you're fucking up the land. You're killing animals. All in the name of your so-called perceived power. And that's why it's time to end this shit. I'm not concerned with your politics or nothing you say, because in a new day, you will not be here. And there's going to be a small amount of us to enjoy this earth. And that's where I'm going for. That's my goal. Will happen, folks. It will guarantee happen, because the Most High, source creator of the universe, is backing me. Can any of you whip his ass? No. Right? Can any of you whip the heavens? No. You're living on the earth. You can't beat the earth if you're living on the earth, folks. Think about it for a minute. You're going to put your dukes up and do what? Look up at the sky? Right? Huh? I told you that when I start issuing things now, it's not really to wow you or do anything. You guys don't care one way or another. You don't have sense one way or another. You don't recognize demons one way or another, right? So I'm going to have to do what needs to be done. I know who the demons are, and I'm coming for them. I'm letting the demons know and putting them on notice, you punk bitch. You fucking parasitic motherfuckers, right? I'm tired, folks. I'm tired. I'm tired of everything on this earth that I'm looking at. And because, like I said, I have resources, folks. I have access to great resources, and I'm going to use them to the fullest extent. I will lay every demon down on this fucking earth. I promise you. Right? Every single one of them.